Hi. As you may know, we at 1001 Unicorns are convinced that stories are key to children's development, and our research team is always interested in how stories in different cultures are structured. Today, we will travel to Latin America. Imagine a world where the ordinary dances with the extraordinary, where three ancient storytelling traditions weave together like golden threads, creating tales that have enchanted children for generations. Welcome to the magical world of Latin American children's literature. What makes Latin American storytelling so special? It's something called mestizaje, the blending of three rich storytelling traditions. When indigenous peoples, with their deep connection to nature and cyclical time, met Spanish colonizers with their European fairy tale structures, and encountered African storytellers with their powerful oral traditions and trickster tales, something magical happened. This wasn't just cultural mixing, it was cultural alchemy. Each tradition brought its own gifts, and together they created something entirely new, magical realism for children. But what exactly is magical realism? It's when the extraordinary lives comfortably alongside the ordinary. A grandmother might chat with the moon, or a child's tears could become actual pearls. In these stories, magic isn't shocking, it's simply part of life. This storytelling approach helps children understand that wonder exists everywhere and that different ways of seeing the world are all valid and beautiful. One of the most beautiful aspects of Latin American children's stories is how they naturally weave multiple languages together. You might hear Spanish flowing into indigenous languages like Quechua, Nahuatl, or Guarani, with Portuguese creating bridges between regions. Children don't experience this as confusing, they experience it as rich. Just like their own multilingual communities, the stories reflect the beautiful complexity of how people actually speak and live. Unlike linear Western stories that move from beginning to end, many Latin American tales use cyclical structures. Stories might circle back to where they began, but with new understanding. Generations repeat patterns, seasons return, and wisdom passes from grandparent to grandchild in eternal circles. This mirrors indigenous concepts of time and the natural world, where everything is connected in great, beautiful cycles of renewal and growth. Now let me tell you about one of the most beloved characters in Latin American children's literature, Martina the beautiful cockroach. Yes, you heard that right, a cockroach. This isn't just any insect story. Martina embodies everything we've been talking about. She's a tale that comes from multiple cultural traditions, uses humor to teach serious lessons, and shows us that wisdom can come from the most unexpected places. Martina is a beautiful cockroach who must choose a husband. Her grandmother gives her magical coffee grounds to test her suitors. She secretly spills coffee on each one to see how they react when angry. The rooster crows angrily, "Kikiriki! I'll peck you!" The pig oinks furiously, "I'll roll you in the mud!" But when the little mouse gets coffee spilled on him, he simply says, "Don't worry, these things happen."
Ratoncito Pérez, you have shown me your true heart.
On the surface, this is a fun story about choosing a husband. But look deeper and you'll see mestizaje at work. The coffee test reflects indigenous wisdom about observing character. The animal suitors echo Spanish fables. The trickster element comes from African storytelling traditions. In many tellings, Martina's story naturally flows between languages. She might say buenos dias to her suitors, call her grandmother abuela, but also use indigenous words for animals or African-influenced expressions for emotions.
Ay, Dios mío, what am I to do, mi amor?
Mija, use el café test, like mi abuela taught me.
Children hearing this don't think, oh, she's switching languages. They think, this is how we talk. It validates their multilingual reality and shows them that all their languages are valuable. What's brilliant about Martina is how she combines humor with practical wisdom. Children laugh at the idea of a cockroach choosing a husband, but they internalize the lesson about looking beyond surface qualities to see someone's true character. This is masterful storytelling, entertainment that educates, humor that heals, and wisdom wrapped in wonder. The influence of Latin American storytelling techniques has spread far beyond its origins. You can see magical realism in children's books worldwide now, and the idea of incorporating multiple languages naturally into stories has inspired authors across cultures. So next time you and your kid create your own story with 1001unicorns.com, here are a few ideas to help you use some of the Latin American storytelling techniques. In the topic field, where you can also indicate a plot line, you can specifically create a story with cyclical nature one circles back. You can tell it to use humor to make a point, and you can even tell it specifically to mix languages and create multilingual stories. Well, that was it for today. I hope you found it as interesting as we did. Stay tuned for the next episode or visit our website for more research on storytelling. Bye for now.